What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about 4 different crypto mining stocks in this video. We will be comparing some of these stocks to each other as well, so more than just 4 charts in this video. We're going to talk about Riot first for Ricky's, Marathon, and CleanSpark for Cow. Marathon versus CleanSpark for Cow, and then we're going to finish it up with Btbt and then Btbt versus MicroStrategy for Navi. So that's Riot, Marathon, CleanSpark, Marathon versus CleanSpark, Btbt, then Btbt versus MSTR. And let's get into it, guys. Okay, hit that like button, subscribe, and here we are. So Riot at a low point, definitely at a low point of the week. You know, I wouldn't assume that we go too much lower. We're definitely at a nice place where I would expect that we find support, and you know, we found resistance back here. We found resistance before, so finding support here now would definitely be expected, to say the least. From a low to a high, you're at your 382. In fact, I'm actually surprised that you found support on your 382. You got above your 236. This normally doesn't happen. Like when you make a move up to here, you tend to go through. So I'm a little bit surprised, but that gives me all the more reason to believe also that you do hold this area. After all, this move down, these last 3 days in a row of moving down, were some of the lowest days in volume that you've had throughout this whole like range here. So I'm not worried about it at all. I definitely do believe that you're going to find support here. And I would think tomorrow being Friday, probably you pull your skirt up a little bit for the end of the week, right? What I mean by that is like if this is your dress, here's your candlestick. It's your dress. If the dress is to get pulled up, if you're to pull your skirt up a little bit, you're gonna show the wick. I don't know if that's an appropriate description, but that's just what I mean. I'm not gonna I feel like it sounds worse when I try to describe it than if I just say it. but anyways, $11.19 now. I would expect, you know, tomorrow probably up a little bit. Maybe you're at $12. Maybe you're at $12.80. The higher the better, but I don't think you move too much lower from here. Really, you're probably going to break out at any given moment. It looks like what you've done is you're moving up to the top of this zone, this area that you've been finding resistance on, right? This line here. This time here, you just went straight down. This time here, you just went straight down. This time here, you just went straight down. But this time, you're consolidating, and you have been consolidating for, you know, about 2 months now. So, well, maybe not 2 months, I'm sorry, about a month to be completely fair. But I would think that means you're going to move up pretty soon. So from an overall high to an overall low. And actually, I don't even know, would this fib be respected? It looks like it's we'll do another fib just in case, but that would project out to about $28 to $42. And then this one here definitely would find respect on this. I would think very soon, by the end of the year, you could see this thing being worth $20, and then going into the end of January, $32 or more could be on the table for sure. It's worth $11.19 now, so I think you're on your way. Weekly RSI looks fine. You rejected the overbought zone, which isn't nice, I suppose, but I don't think you look bad at all. Daily RSI, lower lows in the RSI, higher lows in the price, not a bad thing either. Very bullish, so. Yeah, and then you also have, is that bullish divergence there? That's bullish. You've got double bullish divergence on your 3 hour. Oh, I'm sorry. You had bullish divergence here. This is actually a higher low, so it's just bullish convergence. But I think you're gonna move up here pretty soon. So that's Riot. Let's go over Marathon now. Marathon holdings on the daily. Looking at it here. And you know what, actually, while we're doing this, because I know a lot of you appreciate the ribbon, let's just go through and look at the ribbon real quick. Riot having a hell of a time getting above this ribbon on the monthly, but I think it will. I think it looks like it wants to. And this crossing to the upside could really let Riot fly if we get it to cross bullishly. So that's actually kind of an interesting position. Battling the hell out of that. The weekly ribbon is just freshly crossing. This is a bullish look, you guys. Freshly crossing, and you're back testing it for support, right? Kind of had that here, freshly crossing, and then you back tested it for support. Look at what you did, right? And I don't think that you're going to consolidate like this after this next move up, though you probably do consolidate after this. This probably does send you right up to these high areas around $20 by the end of the year, like I said, if not very beginning of January, but probably very early. And then the daily, you're getting below it, but you're cross bullish, so you're probably at the lows. It makes sense now. So Marathon, we can also look at Marathon on the ribbon. Why not? I know you guys like the ribbon. Marathon, again, also below the ribbon, but it's bullishly charged, so I would think that you're probably at a low point, that the daily can be a little less reliable, it seems. The weekly looking good as well. I don't think you go too much lower. And then the monthly just got across, you guys. This thing is just getting started. On a month-to-month basis, probably for the next year, you're just going to grow. So very bullish Marathon, actually. We look at Marathon here on a daily perspective. You've got lower lows in your RSI, higher lows in the price. You're actually at an area in the RSI where every time you found a low, you've kind of, in the RSI, it's been at this area, right? Except for a couple of them that were lower. But in this area, generally, it's where you find your lows. and you've got a higher low here. You've got a dramatically higher low here. So let's see. High to low here maybe. 886 down to 382. I don't know if I like that. Let's do this one. Low to high. Come on now. There we go. Right at the 0.5. It's not common. You don't have to go lower, but Marathon, you could go lower if you wanted to. You know, you could go down to your golden ratio, your 618 at $18.10. That wouldn't look bad from like a trending perspective either. You would just find a higher low in this kind of series of higher lows here. So, but I don't know if you go lower, man. Let's see. Let's look at the 3 hour. The 3 hour would suggest you go lower probably. You might bounce tomorrow a little bit, but then next week perhaps you go lower, and then we find the low next week and start to work our way up. I guess that'd be my prediction. For now, the call for Marathon, you're at 20 bucks, would be to go down to 18.10. If Marathon goes down, that could say that the rest of them go down too. So let's look at the rest of these before we're totally condemning Marathon, because I do think it's completely possible that it could find support right here, but it could go to 18.10. 18.10 is not condemning it. It's still a higher low, but I'm not totally convinced of that that's what I'm seeing in the charts. I want to look at CleanSpark. Let's see what CleanSpark's doing. CLSK on the ribbons as well. Looking to get a bullish cross, looking to get it. Weekly ribbon, battling it out, bullishly crossed, trying to hold that bullish positioning. You want to get back above the yellow line. Definitely don't want to be closing below it. And then the daily looks like it wants to cross down, actually. The daily looks like it wants to cross down. But you're also at a point where you could just rip right back up, and CleanSpark loves to be volatile. It's like these lows, man. Every time you hit these lows, you just rip right on up. You might rip tomorrow. Let's see what you do. I'm going to call for it actually right now, just looking at this chart. I think CleanSpark tomorrow to close the week is going to be at like 1280. It's at 1091 right now. Let's see if anything agrees with this real quick. But yeah, let me just look here. I mean, you do have higher lows, of course, right? Coming in there. You do have bullish divergence, higher lows here in your RSI, lower lows in the price. Bullish, that is some bullish divergence, very intense bullish divergence. Volume's dying off as you're moving lower. Hey man, I think you're gonna do well tomorrow. Hold on. Let's see here. Low to high. Down at your golden ratio zone, bro. Yeah, you're fine. You're gonna bounce. We'll see you probably above 12 bucks tomorrow. That's my thoughts for CleanSpark. Looking like you're going to rip. So maybe Marathon doesn't go down. Maybe it does hold. Marathon versus CleanSpark. Mara versus CLSK. You know what's cool, you guys? We can do this one too. Mara versus CleanSpark. Bet you weren't expecting that one, Cal. We're gonna do the Mara versus CleanSpark chart on the ribbons as well. Looking at it on a monthly basis. So this is Marathon versus CleanSpark. So if this goes up, Marathon's gaining value versus CleanSpark. If it goes down, it's a losing value versus CleanSpark. Where you're at on the monthly ribbon would suggest you probably find resistance and go down. That's what this is telling me on the monthly. The weekly, looking to get a fresh cross. You are positioned upwards right now, and if you do come down, that could, that it's very tricky right now, because coming down and touching this might be what you do and then bounce off. But you could also, in moments like this, you really could just like sling right down. At any rate, it doesn't seem that you respect this weekly ribbon too much, do you? But we'll see. Time will tell. Not a whole lot from the weekly is all I'm trying to say there. I'm not getting a whole lot from that. The daily looks bullish, but it does look like you want to come down probably a little bit. So, all right, looking at this here on a daily perspective, a little bit of bearish divergence there. Looks like you're at the top of this range. So versus CleanSpark, yeah, Marathon looks like it probably wants to lose some value. You're at $1.87 CleanSparks per Marathon, right? You probably lose about 17% of your value versus CleanSpark. That'd be my thoughts. Over the coming days, over the coming weeks, and then over the coming months, man, I don't know. It really depends. Are you bullishly charged? Or are you I feel like the monthly ribbon would suggest you're bearishly charged, but this chart has me thinking you're rather bullishly charged, actually, is what this thing has me thinking. Let's just see real quick. Nothing around there. Let's look at the monthly. I don't know. I would think you actually start moving up, contrary to what the monthly ribbon here says. I would think you actually start to move up. You know, in the short term, I got to say, it looks like CleanSpark is going to take the cake, probably going into the end of January. I bet it sees a bigger move. But going into the end of the cycle, I'm not convinced. I think Marathon might outperform CleanSpark from here, you guys. I would think it grows over the months. CleanSpark has a beat over the days and the weeks, but Marathon, I think, has a beat over the months. But time will tell. We'll see how it goes. It's interesting that that's what I'm getting. I mean, this could be some kind of false cross. If any of these months on the Marathon CleanSpark chart, if Marathon gets to the point, I'll tell you what, if Marathon gets to the point where it's 2.1 times the price of CleanSpark, then Marathon, that's how you know it won, right? So anytime you just look at the Marathon price, CleanSpark price, if Marathon's worth 2.1 times, if you multiply the CleanSpark price by 2.1 and Marathon is at that price or above it, then that's how you know Marathon is, this chart prevails and this chart is a false. Anyways, that's that. Let's look at Btbt now. Btbt. Finish this bad boy up here. On a weekly basis, dropping a little bit, yeah, 17% down. A little bit of bearish divergence here on the weekly, so it kind of makes sense. I don't know why I've got the purple line up there. I don't want that there. Yeah. Come on. Yeah, bearish divergence. You've got these lows coming in nice with your RSI. Pretty nice succession here. Nice trend. Right, like that. So you probably do find support here. I bet if Btbt goes down tomorrow, it'll come back up and close at its price that it's at right now or around here. It might not even move down tomorrow, but I wouldn't expect too much of a bounce. I think it'd be nice if the week closed down here. Just because I think it would be nice if the week closed down here doesn't mean it has to. You could get some kind of a bounce. Who knows, right? But it looks so perfect. Looking at the daily, getting rid of that. Daily RSI kind of would suggest that you go lower, actually. To be completely fair, it would suggest you go lower. The trend in the price here, breaking out of that, I'm drawing horrible lines tonight, you guys. This trend here, breaking out of that, would suggest you go lower as well. Let's look at this on a weekly perspective again. I want to take this low to this high. Yeah, you probably do go lower, Btbt. We're going to call for a move down to 276, actually. Damn. Yeah. Or you hold the line here, or you defy the odds and you just hold the line here, man. But it doesn't look good. At any rate, I do expect tomorrow to be a good day for you, but I think next week you're going to go down lower, to be completely fair. Let's do Btbt versus MSTR now. Btbt versus MSTR. And I'll do that too. Hold on. I'll do this. Btbt. Real quick. Monthly doesn't look good. Weekly looks good, actually. Kind of actually looks like you want to go lower, to be fair, because you've found support on this enough, and now you're in it bleeding. You probably will go below it, so that lines up with what I'm saying. And the daily looks like it wants to cross down as well. So you got to show up soon. It's either tomorrow, Friday, or Monday next week. You got to show up and start pumping. If not, you are probably likely going to go lower, down to like $3 or lower, probably. Okay. Btbt versus MSTR, we can do that too. Hold on. Btbt MSTR. Yep. Versus MicroStrategy, Btbt is definitely in a fully entrenched downtrend. There's no hope for this thing. So that was easy. It probably does stand to gain some value versus MicroStrategy soon. But overall, yeah, it's in the dumps, man. MicroStrategy is the clear winner here. It's not even a contest. Btbt MSTR on the monthly here. Looking at the RSI, doesn't look the best. Actually, the weakest it's ever been. A lot of people might take that as like, oh, it's the weakest it's ever been. It's time to buy. No, that actually means you're the weakest in your price you've ever been. Though you are at a nice area to bounce, to be completely fair. Weekly RSI as well. A little bit of bullish divergence there. Yeah. Maybe you do bounce from here. I don't know. Daily RSI, not bullish divergence. I would think because you hit your 1272 and you're already back at it now, I think you go to your 1414. So I think you do continue to lose value. Just all this continuing, and this is a very dominantly bearish trend in the fib as well. So along with the RSIs, so Btbt definitely the loser versus MicroStrategy. If you were holding either of these stocks, MicroStrategy would be the one that you'd want to hold, right? That's all this chart's saying. So thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Hit the like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Thank you all. I will see you on the next one. All right, bye.